Every day, governments and central banks worldwide come up with new stimulus measures. Remarkably, weakness of leading global economies had been proven by downbeat economic data for those periods when the coronavirus did not fuel the global pandemic. What statistics will be on investors' radars in the last days of the trading week? Let's find out from our video calendar on InstaForex TV channel. Tomorrow, Japan is due to report on consumer inflation for February. Analysts reckon that consumer prices went on with a decline on a yearly basis despite fiscal measures aimed to revive the domestic economy. No wonder investors will be riveted to such information. The Bank of Japan has been conducted massive QE program, which is 3 times as big as similar programs of the Fed Reserve. Nevertheless, the unprecedented ultra-loose policy has failed to ensure steady economic growth. On the contrary, recent fundamental data confirmed the fact of recession in Japan. Besides, the central bank has not been able to spur inflation yet. This raises doubts about the efficiency of fiscal stimulus, so growing pessimism will boost demand for safe haven assets. The Reserve Bank of Australia also has launched aggressive monetary easing. Today, Australia's central bank announced its intention to inject almost 11 billion Australian dollars into the banking system by means of repo operations. However, the market is skeptical about the news, anticipating another rate cut by 25 basis points. The odds are that Governor Philip Lowe will unveil this decision in his speech tomorrow. The actual rate cut, or a signal for further monetary easing, is certainly bearish for the Australian dollar. A few hours before the speech of Philip Lowe, the Aussie dollar could be wound down by Australia's employment data, as the number of employed people is expected to decrease. The Canadian dollar is going to be under the spotlight at the end of the week. This week, the loonie has incurred heavy losses, so investors are seeking an excuse for the correctional climb. It could be a macroeconomic report with the upbeat data. The ADP employment report is likely to show 18,000 new jobs in February. The pessimistic forecast suggests that the labor market could have shattered 10,000 jobs. On Friday, traders are anticipating positive retail sales data as the consensus indicates a 0.3% gain in January, following a flat reading in December. Importantly, it will be the data for the period when Canada's economy was not derailed by the coronavirus pandemic. That's why the report is likely to be neglected by the market. Apart from the above-said data, traders will get to know other statistics. On Thursday, New Zealand is due to report on its economic growth for the fourth quarter. Japan will release the minutes of the latest meeting of the central bank. Switzerland is holding its policy meeting, so don't miss the interest rate decision. On Friday, traders will take notice of factory inflation data from Germany. The Bank of Russia will announce its policy decision. Another important report amid the oil price war is an oil recount for the United States from Baker Hughes. You were watching Forex Trader Calendar on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Stichina. We wish you profitable deals.